Hi, it's me, monotone complainy guy, aka the real Jez. The other guy's fake. It's been 11 months since my last nutshell video and a lot has changed. For one, I have a new sidekick, I mean boss, I mean wife. I call her very ripped and or pretty girl unless she's around, in which case I call her Amy. Safety. One thing that hasn't changed is that I'm still Jez the Titan Slayer, slayer of all titans. Why is that? I'm glad you asked. There's approximately 3 reasons. 1, I mean, just look at my wife, wink emoji. Yes, I'm in trouble now, but it was worth it for the joke. 2, nothing, and I mean nothing, triggers me more than a one-eyed mask wearing Titan. And 3, we have Titan Slayer merch now, nothing like cashing in on a meme and selling your soul in the process. Life update that no one asked for aside, the Last Wish raid released over 260 days ago. For context, here's everything that happened in Forsaken story up until Last Wish. Cade 6, while having a roast battle with Aldrin, implies he banged Mara Sov.
How's your sister?
Big mistake, as that's Aldrin's dream. Fade to black, Cade is shot. Prison of Elders sometime earlier. The Purple Pirate Lady needs our help, there's been a prison break. Those are my favorite. The most impressive thing about Cade so far is that he hasn't died carrying the weight of this whole franchise. One really epic yet somewhat exaggerated action scene later, Cade's ghost is sniped off spawn, very toxic. Okay, Cade dies for real this time, now we're standing over his body with his 2 best friends, Bald Lady and Beefy Smurf. Your friendly neighborhood emo, Aldrin, sends his guys out to kill stuff, pretty lazy, then has a conversation with his very imaginary sister, pretty crazy. Next scene, we meet Spider, the very fat godfather in charge of the Tangled Shore. He tells us about the barons that recently escaped from prison. In order of appearance, their names are Big Balls, Big Splod, Tricky Ricky, Mindbender Rear Ender, Need for Speed, Triple X Sniper 69, Backpack Kid, and Keyhead. Long story short, we kill them all. Meanwhile, Aldrin finds the shard of the Traveler, touches it inappropriately, and takes a piece to the Dreaming City. Even Keyhead, the last baron alive, basically says, "Not a good idea, boss," but Aldrin, head over heels for his sister, continues onward. Eventually, he gives the shard to what he thinks is his sister, but in reality is actually a very spicy meatball spaghetti. We kill the meatball because we just prefer chicken, and Aldrin pops back out. Considering we just saved his life, he's a pretty cranky boy. No matter, we have another fade to black, followed by a gunshot, very poetic. Who actually pulled the trigger though, us or the Purple Pirate Lady? I'm pretty sure it's explained in the lore, but I'm very busy, and as such have no effing clue. Just ask Bife and tell me what he says, please. Anyway, how do we go from that cutscene to the Last Wish raid? Good question, I don't actually know. There's probably some dialogue in game that explains it, but to be honest, I always shoot and never listen. My philosophy in life has always been, why use lot word when few word do trick? It's rhetorical, few word good, lot word bad. So after a lengthy intro, here's the Last Wish raid in a nutshell summarized format. As we land, I'm reminded of the always classy proximity tower chat, BRB, turning that off immediately. By the time we reach the door, someone has already killed themselves, it's just the Guardian way. Union Knight asks if we can activate the glittering key wish at the wishing well, and not wanting to be a dick, I oblige. Let's not pretend like that wasn't a huge flex though. I mean, he'd had that key for 2 weeks, why'd he have to use it now? I'm getting off track, not the point, Jez. Ain't Pro, although trying to help, is looking at the wrong wish number online, so shoots the wrong tiles. Then, while trying to shoot all the tiles at once with a rapid-fire SMG, Union Knight also activates multiple wrong tiles. Several mistakes later, Union runs out of primary ammo and in classic Titan form charges forward with Acreus, while the rest of us shout that is absolutely not the right gun for this precise job, you fool. Classic Titan, so stupid. Eventually, we wish for material validation in a surprising twist of meta-social commentary from Bungie. We proceed to Kalli the Corrupted, but let's be honest, who isn't, boss fight room. After standing on the plates for a while, I almost lose my 1v1 to this knight, PvE god by the way. DPS time, and I'm unironically using Mountaintop because for a PvP pinnacle weapon, it sure dominates with its big dick PvE energy. After a few missed prospector shots on a stationary boss, what even is that gun, we finish her off no problem. I'm rewarded with some non-recovery, non-enhanced, and therefore trash boots. The following week, I would receive the exact same equally useless chest piece roll. What TF is the drop rate for enhanced gear, because it seems to be about 10% and that's approximately 23% too low IMO. My fire team has left me behind as always, part 1. Union Knight fails the first chest drop down. Pressing spacebar literally 1 time can be quite a challenge, I would know. I'm awarded a single shot, so therefore inferior pulse rifle scout rifle, which I promptly dismantle. The following week, I'm given what I like to call easily the worst rocket launcher in the game, despite what its name will tell you, Apex Predator. At this point, because all my adult friends are actually children, somebody needed to go to the bathroom, so we sit and wait for a while. Why didn't they go before we started? Good question. Why does any child need to go as soon as they get in the car? In my opinion, opinion, they just can't help it, and also kids are demonic, mostly that. Next up is the Shuro Chi, I'm also very corrupted I swear, encounter. She bibs me away aggressively, pretty toxic to be honest. I almost don't make it back in time for the DPS. I do, however, get one mountaintop shot in, so I'm pretty stoked about it. Eager to show the team I'm not as bad as I look, I rush forward, almost die immediately, but try to play it off cool. Next DPS phase, I say, for God's sake, just let me put my circle down, they allow it, and now I'm carrying the team. With my ego, that is. We flawlessly solve the fish on the wall Rubik's Cube style puzzles and head further upstairs. At this moment the following week, Shuro I'm above the Lord Chi would attempt to DDoS my teammate as he teleports no less than 6 times in front of me. We almost wipe after some confusion over who's doing prisms, mostly because we were just dicking around and no one ever takes this fight seriously. Several fish-themed Sudoku puzzles later, I ride the slow-motion floof escalator, aka Warlock jump, back up to the top. Let the record show that jump is being very generous IMO and only being used for lack of a better word. You can tell who's not on their main class by how difficult they find this very basic jump puzzle. Here we see Eugen falling while shouting, and I quote, "Wow, Titan jump actually sucks so much ass," unquote. He's usually a hunter. Moving forward, I'm unfairly targeted, classic Boomerite D-bag. Anyway, we kill the boss. I get a recovery-based helmet, that's good, but no enhanced perks, not as good. I'm emo and toxic about it. Then we play my favorite minigame called How Many Times Will I Jump Fail This Tree Lameo, the challenge. This week was only once, but don't be fooled because the following week was a very impressive 3 legitimate jump fails in a row. Don't hate the player, hate the class. Not paying attention, I take the wrong turn, but try to play it off. May I introduce you to the derpiest hunter of all time, Axe, as he Goomba stomps me by accident. No sympathy from the chest, which produces some super lit, not enhanced by the way lol outplayed, gloves that I immediately dismantle. The following week, like any good teammate, Axe tries to sabotage me again. Not this time, idiot, is what I said at the time, and I get my revenge in the form of taken armaments, aka free heavy all the time in Gambit, the mod. Back to the past, I hit this rock and clamber fail to death, just warlock things. 1 week later, in the most ironic way possible, Axe hits the same rock as a Titan, subsequently dies, and balance is restored. Meanwhile, Hunter Axe from the past smashes his head, yet easily clambers out of it. Hunters are quite simply the best. Union Knight then tells the team to gather round for a magic trick you won't even believe. I laugh for about 4 straight minutes. The next encounter is Morgeth, totally not Golgoroth from Kingsfall, and even after 20 plus raid clears, I still only have a vague understanding of how this fight actually works. All I know is grab the ball when my team tells me to, and let them know if I'm a very stormy boy. We kill the boss quite easily because Guardians are actually gods at this point, and I'm awarded 7 cores, the gun, and the 150 speed, so definitely don't use me lol Sparrow. The following week, Morgeth was actually the weekly clan bounty, and when I asked my team what the strat was, they said just don't shoot the ogre's forehead. Although not proud, I did emote my way through the whole fight and receive another 7 cores for my efforts. My fire team left me behind again, part 2, the sequel. Next up is the Vault, also known as Do You Like Going Fast? Well, F you Lameo, the Room. This is easily my least favorite encounter of any raid in Destiny's history. Yes, the music is good, but unless Paul McCartney is in my office IRL giving me a back massage, it's just not enough. My role is kill time and watch for a night, while my teammates type hieroglyphics in the chat. Eventually he shows, and I hit him with the huge PP by the way shotgun that doesn't actually fire bullets, it simply deletes enemies from the coding in the game. The night is simply Alt F4'd from existence, and while I'm high-fiving myself, I die to a red bar Scion. Out of sheer boredom, I ask my team if next time I can pick up the Eye of Riven, and they agree. I exit through trees, they tell me to slam at trees, I say cool, what do I press? They say grenade, I say no worries. And that's when I remembered I recently swapped my grenade key with my super key. Because I supered, we lost the ball, and that means it's a wipe. When I realize we have to do that whole room again, I shove diarrhea into my mouth for about 6 minutes just to calm down. Eventually, we start it back up, and this time I'm strictly forbidden from doing anything at all. Good call, team. Afterwards, I find some enhanced gloves, but naturally they're not recovery based. I guess I had it coming. My fire team has 100% left me behind, part 3. Next encounter, we drop down some holes to fight the big naked dragon with our totally legit, not a cheese at all strategy that skips most of her mechanics. Forgive me, Dado, for I have sinned. Eventually, out comes Riven of 1,000 chins. I drop my circle and we unload unspeakable amounts of damage into her mouth. Halfway up the jump puzzle, I'm almost booped off by still the world's derpiest Hunter Axe, and then I vastly underestimate the blast radius of my mountaintop. The team shoots some final projectiles into Riven's mouth, she collapses, presumably dead, and we proceed to run directly inside her. I swear to God, this whole section has gotten so out of control, like what am I even saying at this point? The video is definitely demonetized. After reaching Riven's heart and shooting it to pieces, I can't help but wonder certain things like what even are ethics at this point, and are Guardians really the good guys? We do some pretty effed up stuff when you think about it. It's time to carry what's left of our insides back out the way we came. The heart chooses a Guardian, we exit through the gift shop and proceed to make our way back toward the parking lot. By the way, the following week the heart chose me approximately halfway along, and you wouldn't believe how quickly I effed it up. Back to the past, while escorting Ain't Pro, I fire some warning shots to let this phalanx know what the F is up. Eventually, the heart chooses me, not unlike my now wife Amy after I pursued her for months. I slam dunked the strange ball into this random hole because it just felt right. The final chest gives me some non-recovery robes, so in summary, 3 out of 10, that was a huge waste of time overall. If you like this video and want more nutshells, leave a like, pretty straightforward actually. Also, if you're interested in becoming slightly more attractive as a person, 100% real science, we do have some merch available. Just a guy being a dude, supercharged by caffeine, Titan, Hunter, and Warlock Slayer. Please buy, or don't, you're an adult, but you totally should. On a turn complainy guy signing off for now, God bless, keep it real, and keep it toxic.